Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Dave's private, no, not private, but I mean my personal Facebook page version of One Take Tuesday. I'm kind of trying this out to see how it works out. And then we're going to bump it over to the Facebook, the band page, Dave Hawkins singer-songwriter page. But a number of people showed up this afternoon when I was doing my thing that was, I call it the guinea pig sessions, because I was trying to work out something with audio, and I think I'm close to what I need. I'm not exactly definite, but that's all right. Hi, Melody. But I'm hoping that maybe some of y'all who come here to my personal page and see this and like it may consider going over to the singer-songwriter page and liking that page. So, like an idiot, I had a whole stack of other songs that I was going to add in that I left sitting over on the table over there. So if I get to that point, I'll run over and get them. So, welcome to One Take Tuesday. Every song's been sung, but this one. Every line written, already been wrote. Every hero's a star. How can I expect to make it that far? I'm living on 3 chords and just a few notes. Every woman I love has been loved. Every love given, already been gave. Every life together has been lived, I've given every ounce of love that I can give. Can there be anything left to say? Folk singers live. Folk singers live. Mitchell, Baez, and Bob all got there, along with Mary, Peter, and Paul. Bust the chords and begging for gigs, they're just trying to make it not, make it big, giving their heart, their soul, and their all. Folk singers live. Folk singers live. Now do you want to go there with me? I'm living in Motel 6s on the road. Just eating Big Mac, stale crackers and cheese. It might not be for you, but it's a life I lead. I'm singing and living my songs on the road, not these days though. Folk singers live. Folk singers live. Every song's been sung, but this one. Every song's been sung, but this one. Every song's been sung, but this one. Welcome. I just figured out I don't have a lighting guy either. Oh, man. I suck when it comes to video production, and I will gladly admit that. But thank you all for showing up for this Dave Hawkins' personal page. One Take Tuesday. drop of water in the ocean, drop of oil in the stream, drop in interest in a love life for you and me. Drop in temperature but rising, somehow it ain't surprising. The spark's still in there somewhere for you and me. Burning ember of love, it's hot and rising. The fire burns so brightly for you and me. The ember becomes a flame. Who are we to cry and complain? If our love lasts forever, we'll let it be. Lonesome pigeon, the cry of babies in the night, the cry of you when we argue and fight. What are we fighting for? Like you, I don't want to fight no more. Let's say I love you, then we'll say goodnight. Burning ember of love, it's hot and rising. The fire burns so brightly for you and me. The ember becomes a flame. Who are we to cry and complain? If our love lasts forever, we'll let it be. The ember becomes a flame. Who are we to cry and complain? If our love lasts forever, we'll let it be. Let it be. Let it be. An old one off of earlier album. I'm going to fire my lighting guy, but then I wouldn't be here. Do a couple songs for you that are going to be on the new album. And thank you all for showing up. I saw, Joe, that you were in earlier and you made a comment, and I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. If I were smart, I'd wear my glasses, but no one ever accused me of being smart. Someone told me once I was intelligent, and I said, "Oh, thank you," and they went, "Oh, wait, I thought you were somebody else." So the new album was supposedly going to be done, probably half done by now, but two things happened. One was COVID-19, which traps me in my home studio here, which kind of cuts back on what I'm able to do. And second, three things. Secondly, many of my bandmates are down in Cincinnati who I want on the album. There are a few here in the Central Ohio area, and one or two down in Nashville. So getting together is not an option. And three, when your entire income comes from playing music out and selling CDs at your gigs, well, 90% of the income, guess what? Fortunately, I get a little bit of royalty money every once in a while from some of my songs, but that's pretty much bourbon money. These days, it's peanut butter and cracker money. So. But anyway, this is a song that's going to be on the new album. If I can remember it now. I don't know See, I already forgot the chords to this gosh darn song. I haven't done this song in a few weeks, and I haven't. And usually I sit around playing some. Okay, hang on a second. Oh, I know what I did. I apologize profusely. That's a very professional thing to do. I don't know just where the time goes. Don't know if I care anymore. Go down the road, just doing what I'm doing. When trouble comes, learn to try to let it go. Feeling's been a long time coming. If I paid attention, would have seen it all along. Look in my rear view mirror. See, it's been a long time gone. Hi Sue, I got it today, thank you. I knew for sure, you knew for sure I was meant for you. I knew you were meant for someone else. If we had seen the way everything was going, I never would have gone through that hell. Feeling's been a long time coming. If I paid attention, would have seen it all along. Look in my rear view mirror. See, it's been a long time gone. All those years are gone, but something kept me waiting. Together, we always seemed alone. I never could see past the beauty there before me. Yeah, beauty skin deep, but ugly's clean to the bone. This feeling's been a long time coming. If I paid attention, I would have seen it all along. Look in my rear view mirror and see, it's been a long time gone. Look in my rear view mirror. See, it's been a long time gone. Half step too low on that one, Dave. Thank you. So, well, if you just got here, welcome. This is my personal page version of One Take Tuesday that's usually over on the Dave Hawkins singer-songwriter page. And I figured there's a lot more people that, I'm friends with like 2,000 people. 1,500 of them I've probably never met, but friends nonetheless. And I usually do a lot of stuff on the singer-songwriter page because I try to keep absolutely nothing political on that page. And because I have friends of all political stripes. And so I try as much as I can to keep my music separate from, or my performance separate from my personal politics, although they do intermingle once in a while, kind of in the vein of, I guess, Neil Young or people like that. But anyway, just wanted to fill you out, and I'm so glad y'all showed up. I appreciate it. And if you get the hankering, as we used to say back in North Linden and Columbus when I was a kid, if you get the hankering, go over to the go search for Dave Hawkins, singer songwriter on Facebook, and that is my band page. So I'm doing 3 or 4 songs for you that are going to be on the new album whenever I get to the point where I can afford to do that now after we recover from COVID, or at least get out of the house and start making some money again. And I'm anxious to do that, but I'm not rushing to do that because I never thought I would say this, but Republican Governor DeWine has been doing an excellent job in dealing with COVID, the COVID crisis, he and Dr. Acton, and I give them kudos, as well as Dr. Fauci. So anyway, this is a song I wrote a few years back called I'm Missing You, and it's going to be on the new album as well. Whether it's a year, whether it's a century, I don't know if it's sadness, maybe it's just self-pity. I'm missing you, missing you. You told me you'd be here anytime I needed you. Now it seems like every day I'm always not knowing what to do. I'm missing you, missing you. I'm missing you, missing you. Why did you go away? Could have stayed just one more day. Can't make it on my own, I got nothing left to say. But I'm missing you, missing you. You're somewhere up above. Life seems harder every day. Count the stars in the heavens. My tears flow and I gotta say I'm missing you, missing you. I'm missing you, missing you. Whether it's a year, whether it's a century, don't know if it's sadness, maybe it's just self-pity. I'm missing you, missing you. I'm missing you, just missing you. Wrote that song a few years back. I was sitting on my back deck when we still lived down in Cincinnati. Had a lovely house down there, 3,600 square foot house that was in the middle of the woods. And our deck was basically on the second level of the house. So when you walked out on the deck, you were in the middle of the woods. And I was sitting there one night with a glass of bourbon and a fire in the fire chimney. And I looked up at the stars and I thought, those are all the people that I love and have left us. They're all up there looking down on us. So I wrote that song sitting there on the deck, and I'd like to thank Ezra Brooks Bourbon and the Stars in the Heavens for helping me write that song. Speaking of people who've gone on before, this is a song I wrote for my brother Steve. He was a priest in the Catholic Diocese of Columbus. Back, he was ordained in 1975 and was a priest for 25 years. And in his 26th year, he had contracted cancer in September of 2000, and in February of 2001 he passed away. He was my best friend, biggest fan, and my mentor. I owe almost all of my... He was kind of a Daniel Berrigan kind of priest. So he was one of those liberal priests, and I always looked up to him, and probably my involvement with social justice causes are right in line with what I learned from being Steve's little brother. So I wrote this song, probably it was less than a month after he left us in February of 2001. And so it's called Stephen's Song. It's going to be on the new album. One of Steve's favorite musics, along with Bob Dylan and The Who, was bluegrass. So I thought I'd write this as a bluegrass song. I know I'm running down the road a little faster than I should be going. I should be taking my time to see the beauty that's all around me. How could I know where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. Just around the bend, another dead end, or a new road for me to see. Taking life for granted, it's a habit that most folks share. Live our lives to the fullest, enjoy the sun, the rain, the wind in our hair. How could I know just where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. Just around the bend, another dead end, or a new road for me to see. I've taken this lesson from my brother. Enjoy life and all there is to see. It's a greater good to share with each other. And before he died, he shared this with me. How could I know where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. Just around the bend, another dead end, or a new road waiting for me. How could I know just where my life would go? There were no signs in front of me. Just around the bend, there is no dead end, but a new life waiting for me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Thanks for humoring me on that one. That's I think I've played that out in public once or twice, and I'm looking forward to getting into the studio to record that one, because the kids in the band, they're all killer players. Lance Martin is down in Nashville. He plays banjo. Oh gosh, he plays everything: banjo, pedal steel guitar, and just name an instrument, and Lance Martin can play it. Look up Lance Martin music. You'll see how great he is. Bobby Fischer, who plays guitar with me, and of course Peg Buchanan, who's been with me for 25 years, and I just messed up her name, plays fiddle, and Michael Ronstadt, who plays cello, and he also plays mandolin and some guitar. And I'm just so looking forward to getting those guys into the studio to do that song along with all the other songs. And appreciate you showing up for One Take Tuesday, which this is probably about the 20th episode. They're usually over on the Dave Hawkins singer-songwriter site, but I just thought I'd do it here tonight, and then we'll make all those people on the singer-songwriter site wait, so they'll get to see the recorded version. And if you're saying stuff, that's great. I have a hard time reading it because I don't have my glasses on. Because when I wear my bifocals and I try to play my guitar, when I look down, I see like 14 strings instead of 6, and it just screws me up. Plus, I look even uglier with glasses on. So we just got past Easter for Christians, for the Christian world, and I want to do this song for you. It's a Tom Waits song, and I was first inspired to start playing this song when I was on tour several years back and I was in Kansas, and I went into a Walmart store a few weeks before Christmas. I was over doing some shows in Kansas, and it was one of the earlier Walmart stores, the one that Sam Walton had designed himself. So it was more about the size of maybe a Big Lots store than what you see today with Walmart. But I walked into the stores 3 weeks before Easter, and this entire aisle, all I saw were chocolate crosses all the way down. And I've recently learned that there was actually is it called a bas relief, chocolate Jesus, which is Jesus's head on a like a chocolate coin. But this song came to me as I was walking down that aisle in Walmart, so I started doing it, and people have been asking me to play it more and more. So I'm going to do this for you. And thanks to Tom Waits for writing this song. I don't go to church on Sunday. Don't get on my knees to pray. Don't memorize the books of the Bible. I got my own special way. Well, I know Jesus loves me, maybe just a little bit more. I fall down on my knees every Sunday at the extra price candy store. I got me a chocolate Jesus, make me feel good inside. Only chocolate Jesus, keep me satisfied. Don't need no Reese's Pieces, don't need no Almond Joy. There ain't nothing better suitable for this boy. Well, it's the only thing that can pick me up better than a cup of gold. Only chocolate Jesus can satisfy my soul. When the weather gets rough and it's whiskey in the shade, best to wrap your Savior up in cellophane. He flows like the big muddy, but that's okay. Pour him over ice cream for a holy parfait. Got to be chocolate Jesus, keep me satisfied. Only chocolate Jesus, keep me satisfied. Got to be chocolate Jesus, good enough for me. Only chocolate Jesus, good enough for me. Thank you, Tom Waits, for that song. I love that song. The way he does it is very interesting. Charlie Musselwhite, I saw he said one time that they literally, when they first recorded that song, it was inside a cabin that was in the middle of a barnyard, and they put microphones out in the barnyard, and you hear the chickens and the roosters and everything else, and it was really a cool version. So anyway, I had somebody came earlier when I was doing my oh, great, thank you. They came earlier during my guinea pig session where I was still trying to figure out the sound system. And I think for right now, this is about as good as I'm going to be able to get. I'm going to be, as soon as I get a couple extra bucks, I'm going to maybe order one of them their microphones that plug either directly into the phone or however I want to do that. I'm not sure yet. But I just saw Keith Idle is on and reminded me of Harrisburg, Illinois, where my dad was raised. He was born in Arlington, Kentucky, and my uncle Billy Warren Hawkins, his legal name was Billy Warren Hawkins, and he died, I believe it was either 1992 or 1993. And I've told this story before, and for those of you who have heard it before, I'm sorry, but you'll have to humor me on this. But my Uncle Bill died of cancer, and he was in a veterans hospital in St. Louis. And my dad called me to tell me that Uncle Bill was not doing well. When we were kids, I had 3 older brothers and myself, and then I have a cousin, John Warren Hawkins, who actually is a preacher down in Southern Illinois. And whenever our annual vacation, summer vacation, when we were kids, was 2 weeks going to visit Grandma and Grandpa in Harrisburg, Illinois. And we loved it because it was really cool, because we were city boys from here in Columbus, Ohio, and we got to go to the country. And on the summer of our 12th birthday, my Uncle Bill would take us out to teach us how to drive whatever pickup truck he happened to own that year. So the year that I turned 12 and John, my cousin, turned 12, Uncle Bill had a 48 Studebaker pickup truck. So I got to learn how to drive on a 48 Studebaker pickup truck. And we got out onto the back road, and he threw me behind the wheel, and it was a 3-speed on the floor. And so I got behind the wheel, I gunned the engine, and I pushed in the clutch, and I'm trying to find first gear, and I'm looking down, and the next thing I know, Uncle Bill reached over with his foot and hit the brake pedal, because we were almost in the ditch, because we had been coasting towards the ditch as I was trying to find first gear. So Uncle Bill lovingly said, "Why don't you let me drive us home?" So I was thinking of that day when my dad called me about Uncle Bill being in the hospital, and I sat down with this guitar right here, my 1933 Regal guitar that I had gotten from my Uncle Bill O'Reilly, Uncle Bob O'Reilly on the other side of the family when I was a kid. And I sat down with that guitar and I wrote the song for Uncle Bill Hawkins. And Dad took a cassette tape with him of that song when he went to visit Uncle Bill, who was in a coma at the time. And Dad said he turned on his cassette player and he held it up next to Uncle Bill's head. And as the song was playing, my dad said that a tear came out of my Uncle Bill's eye and rolled down his cheek. So that vision has been with me all these years. And so every time I do this song, I think of my Uncle Bill, and I want to do it for you here. Somewhere in a junkyard, southern Illinois, there's a 48 Studebaker pickup and the memory of 2 young boys. It was the summer of '69, I remember it to this day. My uncle took my cousin and me on a getaway. The roads are the same, but the time it's faded. Those memories, they're still here with me. All the time in Illinois that I remember as a boy, you know, those times have mean so much to me. Now my uncle got my cousin and me in the cab of that old truck. Took us out to the back roads to try our luck. Driving the grown-ups ain't no real big deal, but for 2 young boys driving such a thrill. The roads are the same, but the time it's faded. Those memories, they're still here with me. All the time in Illinois that I remember as a boy, you know, those times have mean so much to me. Now first gear ground and whined, and my uncle's face looked pained. I think he was saying a prayer under his breath. Which he'd give out first, his clutch blade or his nerves? To this day I think he's thinking that in his head. The roads are the same, but the time it's faded. Those memories, they're still here with me. All the time in Illinois that I remember as a boy, you know, those times that mean so much to me. I travel down life's road, I can see it ain't always as smooth as it could be. With family and friends and people like Uncle Bill, I know I can travel it easily. The roads are the same, but the time it's faded. Those memories, they're still here with me. All the time in Illinois that I remember as a boy, you know, times that mean so much to me. Yeah, the time in Illinois that I remember as a boy, you know, those times that mean so much to me. Thank you. That song's on the, I believe it's on the Hotel de Ville album, which came out in 2002. And that was actually, I don't know, people keep telling me I'm supposed to say this, I don't know. But that one and then the follow-up album to that, Manchester Mornings, were both under consideration for Grammy nominations the years that they came out. And that was a really exciting thing for me. And like I always say, that and $5 will get you half a cup of Starbucks coffee. So anyway, and what was really cool was Sam Bush, the amazing Sam Bush, good friend of mine and fantastic mandolin player, came into the studio and did a wonderful mandolin part on that. So if you can find that online somewhere, check it out. I think it's on Spotify, so feel free to check that out. I've had some requests for different songs, and I will do those now. Good friend of mine died about oh boy, time just goes so fast. I think it's been about a year and a half ago. His name is Bill Huell, and Bill and Shirley Huell were always really great friends of my wife Wendy and I when we lived down in Cincinnati, and Shirley's still down there. And whenever we're in Cincinnati, we try to chase her down and get together with her, or at least talk to her on the phone. And every time Bill came out to one of my gigs, he said, "Have you played Loretta yet?" So in honor of Bill, I want to do this. You got your mother's eyes. Oh, Loretta, when you look at me, it's so surprising to hear you leaving me behind. When I think of all my love for you, I can't keep from crying. Oh, Loretta, did you just think of this today? Oh, Loretta, are you serious or are you playing with my frail emotions, knowing how I feel for you? Do you really care about what you're about to do? Oh, Loretta, remembering years gone by. Oh, Loretta, how I held you when you cried and how I tried to share your happiness. I reached out in your pain. Will you walk out, turn your back on me, and break my heart again? you take off and start running, you know your mother and me love you so much, we won't try to make you stay. The time has come to be on the run, and we won't stand in your way. Oh, Loretta, you got your mother's eyes. Oh, Loretta, when you look at me, it's so surprising to hear you're leaving me behind. When I think of all my love for you, I can't keep from crying. Whoa, whoa, Loretta. Whoa, whoa, Loretta. Oh, Loretta. Oh, Loretta. That's for Bill and Shirley. And I wrote that song when my oldest daughter had graduated from high school and moved out of the house. I was thinking of that when I wrote that song. She's now 40 years old, and her name is Nicole. Because if you write a song, if you're a songwriter and you write a song for your teenage daughter and you actually use her name, that is just a death sentence for you. I learned that having three girls, and now all three girls keep saying, "That's my song." Anyway, speaking of Bill and Shirley, this is a song called "My Buddy," and it was written back in 1922. And I always feel terrible because now the song has been committed to memory for me for so long that I forgot to have it in front of me so I could tell you the songwriters' names. Because whenever I do somebody else's song, I always like to give the songwriter credit. Being a songwriter, I know how that feels. And firsthand, I know how it feels when someone else does one of your songs and then says, "Oh yeah, this is one of my songs." And I'm like, hello? Anyway, I first learned this song off of one of my favorite songwriters' albums. His name is Jerry Jeff Walker, and he released an album. I apologize, I have to move my pillow around a little bit. This was on an album he released back in 1972 or 73, I believe, called "A Man Must Carry On." And when I first heard the song, I didn't think much of it. I thought, wow, that's a very nice song. But then when my brother died in 2001, and I was listening to that album, the next time I listened to it, suddenly that song took on a new meaning. And then a little over a year ago, my good buddy John Davis passed away, and I had the honor of singing this song at his funeral. And then when Bill passed away, Shirley asked me to play it at a memorial service they had for him, and I also promised her that I was going to put it on the new album. So this song called "My Buddy." Nights are long since you went away. I think of you all through the lonely days. Buddy, oh buddy, your buddy's missing you. I miss your voice, miss the touch of your hand. I miss the way your eyes saw things upon the land. Buddy, oh buddy, nobody's quite so true. They tell me life's a book to study, lessons to find. Ours was written, we'd part, you and I. Buddies through the good days and pals and things that fall. Just these gray days, I miss you most of all. Buddy, oh buddy, your buddy's missing you. Yes, sir, they say it must be in God's plan. I'll be like a good boy and say I understand. But buddy, oh buddy, your buddy's got the blues. Buddy, oh buddy, your buddy's missing you. Thank you, my buddy. Okay, I gotta lighten things up a bit. So, it is live, Tim. Thank you. This song here is I want to dedicate this to my my brother and sister-in-law, my brother Mark and sister-in-law Jody. I wrote this song in 1998, and it was the 25th anniversary. It was my brother's 25th wedding anniversary, and oddly enough, it was also my sister-in-law's 25th wedding anniversary. And I was literally in the front yard in a house where I lived in Columbus, cutting grass, and this entire song came to me because I was thinking back on that day. Because I was a groomsman, my sister-in-law's cousin was a bridesmaid, and this is a story, it's a true story of what happened from that day forward. It's called Homely. It's on the As Long As We Get There album, which came out in 2017. Took a while to get it on an album. I met her at a wedding in 1973. I said, hey there, darling, would you consider a date with me? She smiled and thought about it, then reluctantly agreed. There were 80 other guys there who all looked better than me. I guess she felt sorry for a lonely, homely fool like me. We had all of the country bars, sang along with the band. When we danced to a slow song, I knew I was her man. On the way home, she said, take the long way, and my heart skipped a beat. Knew at that moment, my life was now complete. This beauty had fallen for a lonely, homely fool like me. Eat your heart out, Peter Frampton. It's been more than 40 years now since that night in 73. I still can't believe she agreed to spend that time with me. Like a deer caught in the headlights, my 71 Capri, or a possum chased by dogs and caught up in a tree. It's 4 decades and 3 kids later, I only wish it had been with me. I met her at a wedding, 1973. Now I know she just felt sorry for a lonely, homely fool, that's me. Oh, how's about that? Okay, I guess I better go. Not go. I better do this song. This is the sleeper hit off the latest album that came out in 2017. And I wasn't going to record this song at all on an album. I did a demo of it, and I was going to send it down to my publisher down in Nashville, figuring that figuring that they could pitch it to one of the big stars who might like to put it on their album, even as a deep cut. And even if you get a deep cut, means it's not one of the hits, it's just one of, like, if there are 13 or 14 songs, actually Nashville albums, there'd be 10 or 12 songs. Even if it's like the 12th song that never gets played on the radio, when the albums sell, if they're like a million seller album, man, I would have a really nice boat down on the river and probably a Tesla right now. But anyway, so I did a demo of it in my studio down in Cincinnati, and I was playing it back, and my wife burst into the studio and she said, "You have to record that and put it on an album." So so I said, "Yes, dear." So this ended up on the album, and this is probably one of my most requested songs on live shows. So I'm gonna do it for you right here. It's about a young woman whose teenage daughters are giving her grief about going to the mall and her choice of clothing going to the mall, and her husband comes to her defense. She said, "I used to catch every eye every single time that I walked by. People said I was a toast to the town. Now a few kids and a few years later, I don't think of myself such a hot tater. I could tell from what she said she was feeling down. And I said, ooh, baby, what you mean to me? I keep loving and hugging you till eternity. Listen to what I say and what I mean. I still pick you up in a New York minute, chase your love, do anything to win it. I think you look so hot, even in mom jeans. Even in mom jeans. Walking down the aisle at the Kroger store 6 feet away, picking up some canned goods and it's out the door. Gen X moms in tight jeans and low-cut tees. Every aisle they're smiling, how to do. I think I need a break, what'll I do? In the Clairol aisle, find a beaming just for me. And I said, ooh, baby, what you mean to me? Keep loving and hugging you till eternity. Let's know what I say and what I mean. I still pick you up in a New York minute, chase your love, do anything to win it. I think you look so hot, even in mom jeans. Even in mom jeans. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Don't matter if you're younger or you're older. I looked her in the eye and I told her, some straight from the heart and straight from me. Hey! It's live because I screwed up. Fire that lead guitar player. Honey, you know you still catch my eye every single time that you walk by. Darling, something I just can't deny. We've raised our kids, it's a lot of years later. To me, oh honey, you're one hot tater. Ain't no reason to be feeling oh so down. I keep saying, ooh, baby, what you mean to me? Keep loving and hugging you till eternity. Let's know what I say and what I mean. I still pick you up in a New York minute, chase your love, do anything to win it. I think you look so hot, even in mom jeans. Even in mom jeans. How about some black jeans? Or white jeans? Chartreuse jeans? Or even striped jeans? How I love them mom jeans. Oh yeah, yes I love them mom jeans. Woo! Okay, Melody, I did it. Hi, Dee. Glad y'all are tuning in here. This is going to be saved for posterity, or saved because of my posterity. I don't know, or that's posterior, never mind. On this page, and it will also be forwarded to the Dave Hawkins singer-songwriter page. And please consider liking that page, because when we do get back to playing live gigs here and there, a lot of venues, they look at how many people follow you on your band page is what they call them, I believe, but it's dave.hawkins.singer.songwriter after facebook.com/. So, I mean, even if you don't want to necessarily check in there on a regular basis, please consider liking that page. And also, I want to thank so many different people, but especially D'Addario Strings and Planet Waves. I'm an endorsed artist with them, and they've been just doing some wonderful things since all this stuff happened. They had to close down their facility, and what they did was their drum, sounds weird to say, but their drum line, where they make drum heads for drummers, they converted that into a plastic shield line, where they're making plastic shields for the medical industry. And I'm learning just how long I can go on one set of strings if I need to. So I put in an order like in early January, and I thought, I'll be putting in another order in March, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now I'm worried about it. But anyway, I want to thank them. I also want to thank my good friend Alex Stadler at Stats Pizza and Music Emporium over in Blacklick. Alex feeds me every once in a while during this time, and he has live music. So he's one of the local Central Ohio venues and places that I try to support as much as I can, as well as so many others. But so don't forget to support your small businesses. And also I want to thank Sue, my friend Sue and her family down in Cincinnati, because they went Sunday. They went into College Hill Coffee Company, my most favoritist coffee shop in the whole world, and bought a pound of my favorite coffee, and it came today. The UPS guy dropped it off, a pound of my half espresso, half French roast, whole bean coffee. I was starting to freak out because I had run out. So the only thing I need next is to make best friends with somebody from a bourbon company, because I ran out of bourbon. Anyway, I want to do this song because I see Alex's name showing up every once in a while. I might be going a little over 8 o'clock. I hope you don't mind it. Looking at a picture of a young man with a beer in one hand, a smoke in the other, knowing that life would last forever. Looking in the mirror, there's an old man clinging to a walker with one hand, copy of the good book by his side, knowing that forever had arrived. Can we ever know where life's gonna go? Do we need to care as long as we get there together? Well, the old man woke up one day, found he still had a lot to say, clutching his guitar in his hand, sleeping in cheap motels across the land. Spent a lifetime playing guitar, probably spent a little too much time hanging in bars, hoping one day to have it made. Now he figures he's just old and in the way. Can we ever know where life's gonna go? Do we need to care as long as we get there together? Now the wisdom that comes with age replaces youthfulness full of rage. Transgressions that once caused a mother's tears become regrets in later years. Now I'm looking at that young man in the photo, and I'm telling myself he's someone I don't know. Looking in the mirror, what do I see? I realize that young man is me. Could I ever have known where this life of mine was gonna go? Did I need to care as long as we got here together? Looking at a picture of a young man with a beer in one hand, a smoke in the other, knowing that life would last forever. I just knew that my life would last forever. Thank you. I'll do two more songs for you. We're gonna run a little bit late. I apologize for those of you who thought I'd be done at 8. But I wanted to do this song for my dad. I was talking about Harrisburg, Illinois earlier, and Dad grew up there. My grandma and grandpa moved there from Arlington, Kentucky with my dad when he was about 3 or 4 years old. And he lived there until the war, where he went off to Germany. When they sent him back from the war, he was injured, so they sent him to the Columbus, to the Army Hospital in Columbus, Fort Hays Army Hospital, where he met my mom. And the last few years, my dad was telling me all kinds of stories. Actually, he told us stories all the time, which was really kind of fun. When we were kids, it was annoying, but as we got older, we started to really appreciate the stories because they were just great stories. Some of which may eventually enter into some of my songs, but some of them are kind of skeleton in the closet type stories. So we'll see what happens there. But this particular song, I wrote it. I was actually writing the notes when I was for the song when I was visiting him. He was in Westerville, Ohio, in an assisted living center, and he was telling me about how when he was 10 or 12 years old, he decided he was going to join the Future Farmers of America in Saline County, and he was going to get some chickens, and he was going to enter them into the Saline County Fair. So he's telling me the story, and I'm writing all this down. And about 2 weeks before the Saline County Fair, Dad came home from school to feed his chickens and clean out the chicken coop. And when he got there, somebody had stolen all his chickens. And I said, Dad, that must have really upset you. He said, well, back then it really made me mad. But he said, as I've gotten older, I realized it was during the Depression. So whoever stole the chickens probably needed dinner worse than I needed a blue ribbon. And so I wrote all this down. And when I went, I had to go out on the road. And I left the note paper there. And while I was on the road, my dad passed away. And about a week after, my brother gave me my dad's journals. He kept journals for the last probably 30, 35 years. And the journal that was his last journal that he had, I opened it up and my little piece of paper fell out with my notes on it. So I wrote this song for my dad called Somebody Stole the Chickens. It's on the latest album. Melvin was raised for chickens. As a project for the FFA. He'd clean out the chicken coop and feed them before going to school every day. He knew he had some winners and looked forward to the county fair. But one day when he came home from school, the chickens just weren't there. Somebody stole the chickens. Rhode Island Reds, it might have been a neighbor. Some jealous kids. Melvin's chickens never made it to the Saline County Fair. They probably ended up in a chicken pot pie on someone's dinner table somewhere. Now Melvin's daddy told him, it's your own damn fault. This probably never would have happened if the chicken coop got locked. In the middle of the Depression, folks will do anything for their next meal, even if that means stooping down to beg, borrow, or steal somebody's stole chickens. Rhode Island Reds, it might have been a neighbor, some jealous kids. Melvin's chickens never made to the Saline County Fair. They probably ended up in a chicken pot pie on someone's dinner table somewhere. Chicken picking. Oops, where is it? I think I broke a nail. Now Melvin approached his 90th year, and I visited him one day. He told me the story about chicken, how it had the urge to pray for all the folks who got nothing, and we should help them if we're able. And he hoped whoever stole chickens were grateful as they gathered round their table. Somebody stole the chickens. Rhode Island Reds, it might have been a neighbor or some jealous kids. Melvin's chickens never made to the Saline County Fair. They probably ended up in a chicken pot pie on someone's dinner table somewhere. There it is. Thanks to my dad for that song. Got one more song for you. Thank you guys for showing up here tonight. This might become a regular thing. Who knows? Hopefully not for too long where we have to be doing this, but where we get to do this. But I did this song earlier today on my my guinea pig session. And I want to fill you in on the guinea pig session. Okay, once I do get the audio thing fixed, and once I figure out what I'm really supposed to do with the lights. I think I'm closer than it's supposed to be, but a few people have been giving me suggestions. But the guinea pig sessions, once I get everything worked out like it's supposed to be, here's what I'm planning on doing. I've got bits and pieces of songs that I've been writing over the last 6 weeks. And what I'm going to do is when I'm close to finishing the song or just finished the song, I'm going to come online and just play the new song and get y'all's feedback. So I generally don't write a song by committee, but I like to hear what people think of my songs, and I really appreciate people that are liking my songs, and the people who hate my songs just don't tell me, which is probably good for my ego. But anyway, I've got 3 or 4 songs I've been working on, and I'm going to share them with you. You know, I might just be sitting over at my writing desk, and I'll share it with you. So anyway, this is my last song for tonight. This is a song that there is a community in Cincinnati, Ohio. My wife and I lived there for 20 years before we moved here to Central Ohio to be closer to kids and grandkids. And we're back down in Cincinnati. Well, we were, and we will continue as soon as everything gets over with. Head back down 2 or 3 times a month to College Hill in Cincinnati, where we used to live, because that's still our second home. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh. So there's this little neighborhood down in Cincinnati where there are a bunch of houses almost 100 years old. The city fathers, in all their wisdom, decided they were going to condemn the houses and tear them down, even though there was a neighborhood there, people living in the houses. They bought out the houses, bought the people out, tore all the houses down because a mall wanted to expand. And it reminded me of when I was a kid growing up in Columbus in the 60s and 70s, whenever the city fathers, in all their wisdom, decided they wanted to tear down historical buildings to put up parking lots or really ugly 1960s high-rise office buildings. So I wrote this song called Somewhere Far Away. It's on the Best That I Can album. Thanks. This house once was a home, plastered and painted on. Now it's a shell for a racquetball. 4-lane highway, that's all. Mom and Pop's grocery gone. Kids have grown and moved on to New York, LA, somewhere far away. It's a Walmart superstore. Harry's 5 and dime ain't no more. You can buy all kinds of plastic crap, like a Chinese-made Old Glory baseball cap. Mom and Pop's grocery gone. Kids have grown and moved on to New York, LA, somewhere far away. Take it, okay. Every time I go back home to the city streets I used to roam, I gotta cry as I look around. There's a concrete nightmare that once was my town. Mom and Pop's grocery gone. Kids have grown and moved on to New York, LA, somewhere far away. New York, LA, somewhere far away. Somewhere far away. Well, y'all, thanks so much for bearing with me here as we went over the 1 hour time limit there, and after all, it was a limit. I put on myself, and I appreciate y'all showing up. What I'll do, I'm getting too old to sit on a stool for an hour at a time. What I'll do is, if you know anybody who happens to complain about, hey, I thought this was going to be on the Dave Hawkins Singer-Songwriter Facebook page, it's going to be put up there after we finish here. But I just wanted to try this out and see how many of y'all might be interested in coming and seeing me here. If you weren't here in the beginning of the show, the one reason that I was trying to do that, trying to do it over on the singer-songwriter page, is because I'm fairly good at never really putting any political stuff over there, because I have many friends and I love all my friends, but we don't necessarily agree politically. And this page, I know sometimes we get in battles with each other, and they're battles as friends. So I don't kick anybody off my page, and I don't unfriend anybody unless they start attacking other friends, or other friends attack them. It doesn't matter what side of the political fence you're on. I will defend my friends to the end. So just let you know that. But anyway, this is of course on the Dave Hawkins, my personal page, and tell all your friends about it. And please, as I said before, consider going over to the dave.hawkins.singer.songwriter page on Facebook. It's Facebook / and then that dave.hawkins.singer.songwriter. It's a mouthful. Because like I said, when I do get back to starting to touring again and playing out, venues tend to look at those band pages to see how many people like your page or follow you on your page. So I would appreciate that. Okay, thank you all so much. And also, if you happen to be someone who would like to throw some money in a tip jar, buy me a virtual beer. I'll put the way you can do that, the Venmo and the Zoom and all that other stuff. I'll call my 6-year-old grandson and ask him to tell me how to do that. Okay, so anyway, this is Dave. Thank you all so much. I love you all very much, and I want you to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, love yourselves, love each other, take care of the earth, and stay healthy. And I'm going to read everybody's comments after I'm done here, because then I'll have my phone up in front of me so I can see it. So if you've been commenting, thanks for your comments, and I'll try to comment back to you personally. Okay, we'll see you next time. Love you all. See you soon. This is Dave. Peace out.